Dear students, in today's class we are going to study modern periodic table and UPAC nomenclature of elements with atomic number more than 100. So two aspects are going to be discussed today. First one, modern periodic table. So yesterday we studied that atomic number should be the fundamental property for the classification of elements. So with the help of a Moseley's experiment, we identify that atomic number changes, properties of the elements changes. We have to classify the elements based on the atomic number. So that we have proposed modern periodic law. The physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic numbers. So when you consider the modern periodic table, it is constructed with the help of two aspects. Number one, atomic number. So as I told, till now we have 118 elements, right? Still the process is going for inventing a new element. So 118 elements are available now. For each element, a particular atomic number will be present. For hydrogen, atomic number 1, because it has only one proton inside the nucleus. For helium, atomic number 2. So like that, for all 118 elements, we have a specific atomic number. So in the construction of modern periodic table, we will arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic number. So what is the major difference between a Mendeleev periodic table and a modern periodic table? Mendeleev periodic table was constructed based on atomic weight. Mendeleev arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic weight, but in modern periodic table, we come to a conclusion that atomic number should be the fundamental property. So we have to arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic number. Then, electronic configuration of elements. So both the things you have already studied in your lower classes, 9th as well as 10th. Atomic number is nothing but number of protons present inside the nucleus of an atom or a number of electrons present outside the nucleus. Mostly we will consider number of protons because electrons are involving in the reactions. An atom can become a positively charged cation or it can become a negatively charged anion. So mostly we consider number of protons present inside the nucleus of an atom as the atomic number. Then what is electronic configuration? It is nothing but electronic arrangement of electrons. So how the electrons are arranged in the atoms. So in 9th, we studied that if atomic number is 1, its electronic configuration is written as 1. We know the cells K cell, L cell, M cell, N cell. Outside the nucleus, we have the orbits or shells or energy levels and so on. So we can write the letters like K, L, M, N to denote the shells, or we can say first cell, second cell, third cell, fourth cell and so on. So in lower classes, you studied electronic configuration like this. So helium with atomic number 2. 2 protons present and 2 electrons present. Inside the nucleus, 2 protons. Outside the nucleus, we have 2 electrons. So electronic configuration is nothing but electronic arrangement in the shells. So 2 electrons will be placed in first cell or K cell. Then when you take lithium, atomic number 3. Number of protons inside the nucleus 3. Number of electrons present outside the nucleus 3. How the 3 electrons will be placed? 2 electrons placed in the first cell, K cell. Remaining 1 electron is placed in the second cell. It's nothing but L cell. Okay. So when you take an atom, nucleus is at the center. Protons and neutrons present inside the nucleus. Outside the nucleus, we have the orbit or shell or energy level. So this is obtained with the help of Bohr's atomic model. You have studied many atomic theories: Dalton's atomic theory, Rutherford atomic model, J.J. Thomson atomic model, and Bohr's atomic model. So outside the nucleus, we have the cells. So first cell is nothing but K cell. So according to Bohr's model, first cell can be denoted as K cell, second cell L cell, third cell M. So like that, we have the circular path. We call it as orbit or energy level or shell. So electronic configuration is nothing but how the electrons are arranged in the cells. If you take beryllium, atomic number 4, 4 protons present inside the nucleus, outside the nucleus 4 electrons present. So 2 electrons will be placed in the first cell or K cell, remaining 2 electrons will be placed in the second cell or L cell. So like this, you have already studied electronic arrangement. Okay? And you know the formula. How much electrons can be placed in an orbit or in a shell. So in Bohr's atomic model, you studied a formula, 2n square. N is nothing but first cell, second cell, third cell, fourth cell. So it is a number. Okay. N value may be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 like that. So how much electrons will be present in first cell, second cell, third cell, like that we can calculate. If the cell is a first cell or K cell, maximum 2 electrons will be placed. If the cell is a second cell, maximum 8 electrons will be placed. If it is third cell, maximum 18 electrons will be placed. Fourth cell will have maximum 32 electrons. So all these basics you already studied. Okay. So electronic arrangement or electronic configuration is nothing but how the electrons placed in the cells. Okay. So up to 10th standard, you studied only cells, energy levels. In higher secondary, we will introduce one more word. It's called the orbital. Subcell or orbital. So this will be introduced. Okay. So modern periodic table is constructed with the help of atomic number and electronic configuration of atoms. So we have to study how to write the electronic configuration of all the atoms. Okay. So tomorrow we will discuss how to write the electronic configuration of atoms. For writing the electronic configuration, we need some more concepts like Aufbau principle, Hund's principle, Hund's rule, Pauli exclusion principle. Then what about the energy of orbitals? All the basics have to be completed. Okay, so tomorrow we will study electronic configuration of atoms in detail. Now we see how the elements are arranged in the periodic table. So elements are arranged in the increasing order of atomic number. So in the periodic table, we have the vertical columns. We call it as groups. And we have the horizontal rows. They are called periods. So you take the first simplest element, hydrogen. It has the atomic number 1. Then helium. Helium will be placed in last 18th group. So totally in a modern periodic table, 18 groups present. How much vertical columns? 18. So totally 7 periods present. How much horizontal rows? 7 periods. Okay. So totally 18 vertical columns, 18 groups present. First element is placed in group number 1. The next element is placed in group number 18. So this is mainly based on the electronic configuration. As I told, 2 things should be considered. One is increasing order of atomic number. Another one is electronic configuration. Why we have to consider the electronic arrangement or electronic configuration? If two elements with the same outer electronic configuration, their properties will be same. Okay, so like a Mendeleev periodic table, we place the elements in a group based on the properties. Elements in a group will have a similar property, and we can say the outermost configuration will be same. So first element, then second element, helium with atomic number 2. Okay, so like that we have to arrange. Totally 18 groups. First element, hydrogen, is placed in group number 1 with atomic number 1. Second element with atomic number 2 is helium. So this is first period elements. So when you take a second period, it starts with lithium with atomic number 3. It starts with lithium, then beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. So atomic number gradually increases. Beryllium 4, boron 5, carbon 6, nitrogen 7, oxygen 8, fluorine 9, neon 10. Then third period starts with sodium with atomic number 11. Here neon atomic number 10, so sodium with atomic number 11. Then magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon. So atomic number gradually increases. Then fourth period will start with potassium, then calcium, then scandium will be placed in third group. Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, and next element, gallium, germanium, tin, like that it goes. Okay. So when you take modern periodic table, 118 elements are placed in the table. So two things we follow. One is increasing order of atomic number. Next one, electronic configuration. Okay. In modern periodic table, there are 4 blocks of elements. First 2 group of elements called S block element. All these will be explained later. You just remind. First 2 group of elements called S block element. The name for first group is alkali metal. First group elements are called alkali metals. Second group elements are called alkaline earth metals. This is based on the nature of the elements. And the group number 13 to 18, totally 6 group of elements. They are called p block elements, right? S block element means outermost orbital will be s orbital. P block elements will have the outermost orbital p orbital. Okay. For each group, you already studied the name. What is the name of 13th group? Boron family, carbon family, nitrogen family, chalcogen family except polonium, halogen family, and noble gases. Then group number 3 to 12 is called a D block element. D block element are transition elements. Okay. At the bottom of modern periodic table, you can check your book page number 74. So two series will be present. They are called the lanthanides and actinides. They are called F block elements. So at the bottom of modern periodic table, we have two periods, lanthanides and actinides. Both are collectively known as F block elements or inner transition elements. So this is the outline of a modern periodic table. We arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic number. Then for each group we have a name. Alkali metal, alkaline earth metal, collectively group 1 and 2 are called S block elements. Then 13 to 18 P block elements, 3 to 12 D block elements. Last two periods. Okay. After 7th period, there are two separate periods. There are lanthanides and actinides. They are called F block elements or inner transition elements. Why we have to use these letters S, P, D, F? We have 4 type of orbitals. Okay. So last orbital will be S orbital in group number 1 and 2. In 13 to 18, last orbital will be P orbital. 3 to 12, last orbital will be D. When you take lanthanides and actinides, outermost or last orbital will be F orbital. And when you check electronic configuration of elements in one group, it will be same. Okay, so that we can say modern periodic table is constructed based on electronic configuration. When you take first group elements, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, the outermost electronic configuration will be same. This will be 1s1, 1s2, 2s1, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. So this will be outermost orbital will be 4s1, 5s1, 6s1, 7s1. So tomorrow we will study how to write the electronic configuration. We think about last orbital. Last orbital is s orbital with a single electron. So all the elements present in first group will have the same outer electronic configuration. The last orbital will have the same number of electrons. So these will have the similar properties. So why we place all the elements in group number 1? Because these elements are having similar outer electronic configuration, so their properties will be same. So modern periodic table is constructed with the help of increasing order of atomic number and electronic configuration. For all 118 elements, you can write electronic configurations. Next, how can we write a name for an element with atomic number more than 100? Name of an element with atomic number more than 100. So if an element is discovered, it should be authenticated by the UPOC. So many scientists are trying to discover and prepare a new element. So till now we have 118 elements. Now the research is going on to prepare a new element in the laboratory, or we have to discover the element in the nature. Still the process is going. So if an element is discovered or invented or prepared, it should be authenticated by the UPOC. So authentication is the process of analyzing the element. What is its atomic number? Who discovered that element first? Which country discovered it? And what is its name? What will be the symbol? So all the informations will be finalized by this UPOC. So it is an organization, so worldwide organization, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So a worldwide organization. So the leading scientists are the members in the organization, so they will finalize. Okay, so you have to pronunciate this as UPOC, not IUPAC. This is pronunciated as UPOC. So this organization will authenticate the element. If an element is prepared in the laboratory, we have to send our reports to the UPOC. So they will check it, at what condition they have prepared it, who really prepared it first. So everything will be analyzed. So authentication process will take some time. In 10th you studied last element authenticated by UPOC is copernicium with the atomic number 112, like that you studied in 10th. Okay, so many elements were authenticated. So until the authentication process will be over, we have to follow a temporary name and a symbol. So elements with atomic number more than 100 will be represented using a temporary name and a symbol. For that, UPOC has given certain rules. Now we write the sodium as Na, potassium K. We write the symbol. So this is obtained after authentication process. So if the symbol and the name is not finalized in the UPOC, temporary name and symbol will be used. For that we have certain rules. UPOC has given the rules to write the temporary name as well as symbol for the elements. The first point, we use the root word for the digits. Okay, so for every element, first we identify the atomic number, how much electrons and protons present in the atom. First we identify the atomic number, then only we can study the properties. So we have the digits. For each digit we have to use a root word. Okay. So for each digit, the root word given by the UPOC is, for 0 we have to write the root word as nil, 1 means un, 2 by, like Greek prefixes we use the root word. Okay. 3 tri, 4 quad, 5 pent, 6 hex, 7 means sept, 8 oct, 9 n. So these are all the root words. Okay. And what about abbreviation? Symbol should be given. Like a temporary name, symbol will also be written. For writing the symbol of an element, we take the first letter alone as the abbreviation. Okay. So for each digit we use a prefix. It is called a root word. Okay. So UPOC first rule is, what is the root word for the digits and what is its abbreviation? First letter will be taken as the abbreviation. Then second rule, name of the element should end with IUM. We have to finish the name of element with IUM. Third one, if two root words are combining or a root word is combining with IUM, what should be followed? To consider ENN as well as NIL. We know that ENN, N is the root word of number 9, this is the root word of number 0. Okay. So when these two root words are combining, So out of 2n, 1 will be striked out. Okay, so you no need to write this as, you no need to write like this, it will confuse. So instead of this we write it as n nil. Okay, 1 n will be striked out. If you combine a root word with suffix ium, as I told, the suffix should be ium, name should be ended with ium. So by is the root word of number 2. If by as well as em are combining, don't write it as biium. So here you can strike out 1 I. So this can be written as bm. The same way, if you combine try with suffix ium, no need to write it as triium. No need to write like this. To strike out I, it can be written as trium. Okay. So what is UPAC's second rule? The suffix should be ium in the name. If two root words are combining, or a root word and a suffix are combining, the repeated letters can be struck out. N and nil are combining, so one N letter will be struck out. By with ium, try with ium are combining, so one I will be struck out. Then fourth rule, symbol. So first letter of a root word plus first letter of suffix, or simply you take first letter of a root word. Okay. So 4 UPAC rules are there. When root words are joining with the suffix, you take the first letter of a root word to write the symbol for the elements. We take the element with atomic number more than 100. So we take an element with atomic number 101. Join the root words. 1 means, what is the root word? For digit 1, root word is un. Next, 0, root word nil. For digit 1, root word is un. So for all the digits, we have written the root words. Name should be ended with suffix ium. Okay. So we may write the name as un, nil, anium. Okay. So this is the temporary name for an element with atomic number 101. How will you write? Symbol. You take first letter of root words. U, N, U. So this is the temporary symbol. Okay. And always this first letter should be a capital letter. This is the way of writing name as well as a symbol for the elements with atomic number more than 100. So this is un, nil, un, suffix ium, unnil, anium. Symbol capital U, small n and small u. Then take element with atomic number 102. Unnil, 2 means root word by. Suffix ium, so strike out one letter I. So this is unnil bm. What is the symbol? UNB. Element with atomic number 103. Unnil, 3 means root word try. Suffix ium, we remove one letter I. So unnil trium, we take first 3 letters. UNT. It's a symbol. Then element with atomic number 104. Anil, 4 means quad, suffix ium. Anil quadium, symbol unq. Element with atomic number 105. Anil, 5 means pent, suffix ium. Anil pentium, symbol unp. Element with atomic number 106. Anil hexium, so unh. Then element with atomic number 107. Anil sept, root word for 7, sept. Anil septium, so uns. Then 108. Anil, 8 means root word oct, so octium, uno. And 109. Anil ennium. For root word, for digit 9, root word is n, so anil ennium, une. Next, 110. For digit 1, next digit is also the same 1, so un 0. Nil, suffix ium, so unnilium, un. Element with atomic number 111. Anium, u. 112. Unbium, uub. Element with atomic number 113. Trium, first 3 letters are uut. Element with atomic number 114. Quadium, uuq. Next, element with atomic number 115. Un 5 means pent, so pentium, uup, symbol. Element with atomic number 116. Hexium, hex, uuh. Then element with atomic number 117. Septium, uus. Then element with atomic number 118. So we have only 118 elements. The last name octium, so uuo. So this is the way of writing temporary name and a symbol for the elements with atomic number more than 100. So until the UPAC authentication process will be over, we have to follow this temporary name as well as a symbol. So in book, page number 75 and 76, the temporary names symbols have given along with the final names and the symbols. Okay. So you have to know this method. Up to 118 elements, authentication process was over. If we identify a new element with atomic number 119, so until the authentication process will be over, we have to follow the temporary name. So 119 means ennium, like that. We have to know how to write the UPOC name, temporary UPOC name. So in tomorrow's class we will discuss electronic configuration of atoms and the grouping of elements in the periodic table. Thank you.